was what do career services offices on college campuses do? And there isn't probably a reason that you would really know that when you're in high school, unless you have older brothers or sisters who've already been through college. But I think it's important that both students and parents know what we do in career services, because it's really one of the first places you should check out when you get to college. It doesn't matter whether it's a private institution or public, all colleges have career services offices, and the sooner that you come and visit us, the better off you're going to be in terms of figuring out what things you're interested in, what things are out there for you. And
we got it.
so I hope you pick this up. This is one of many brochures that we have available in our career services office at Geneseo. I'm sure that University of Rochester, basically any career services office has these kinds of resources for students and for parents to take a look at. And this is obviously with respect to Geneseo in particular, but I really think that everything that's on here is pretty much applicable to almost any career services office. So I just wanted you to take these home and take a look at this. And really quickly, I wanted to go through a couple of the things. Individual advisement. So we do a lot of one-on-one counseling with students. So if you're a student and you're sitting here thinking, well, I'm going to college next year, but I don't have a clue what I want to major in, what I want to do, I don't even know why I'm going. There's a lot of people like that. So don't feel like everybody but you knows what they're going to do. The fact is, the majority of people don't have any idea what they're going to do, but they go to college anyway. And they figure it out through this process of taking academic classes, through co-curricular things like we were just talking about, through internships, and through talking with career counselors in career services offices. So this year I had been at Geneseo for only about 3 weeks, and a student came in, and he was a freshman, and he said, I don't have any idea whatsoever what I want to do. And I thought, this is fantastic that you're already here, because sometimes we see people like 3 weeks before they're going to graduate. So here was a young man who was on top of it. And so he and I talked about what things he can be doing to explore things a little better. And he's come to see me 3 times so far in 3 weeks. But he's really excited because we've been able to narrow some things down for him. So he's going to be in great shape because he knew that we existed. He knew we existed because his parents went to Geneseo, and his parents knew people in the career office. So they told him, go see Ms. Wiley when you get there. So he did that. So individual advising is a huge part of what we do. Career assessment tools. This is one way that we help you kind of find a path. And there's a lot of sort of fun inventories, we call them, and you can call them tests, quizzes, whatever you want to call them, to help you sort of figure out what do you like, what are you good at, and how do we put those two things together. Since very few people know right off the bat what they want to do, these are very helpful things for you to take. And you can do them on your own. You can do them at 2 in the morning in your dorm. We give you log-on information. You just go onto your laptop or whatever computer you're using. You put in the information we give you, and you answer all of these questions like, would you rather play baseball outside or read a book indoors? Those kinds of questions. And based on what your responses are to those questions, the software program will kind of spit out for you, okay, here's 10 occupations that you should think about based on what you've just answered. Here are some fields that you might like doing. So they're very helpful for getting you started thinking about what you could possibly do. And we have a variety of those instruments for you to use based on kind of how far along you already are in terms of what you think you might like. So if you already know that you like math, we wouldn't give you a particular inventory. We'd give you one that's a little bit more advanced than that, that will say, okay, I already know I like math, so now what can I do with math? Okay? So you can do them on your own, then you come back in and we review them with you. And we say, well, this is what you said. Does that really resonate with you? And you can say, kinda, or, yeah, that's perfect, that's totally me. And based on that, we come up with possible courses that you should register for so that you can explore that more. We talk about internship opportunities that could give you some more insight into that. So it's a really useful thing for you to do. And the sooner you do it, the better off you are, because then you can start registering for classes that will kind of go along with what the results of that inventory told you. So they're very helpful to take. We have a career library. All university career offices have these. We've really moved a lot from books to more online resources. So you guys, students, you can check this stuff out, as I said, at any time of the day or night. And we're going more and more in that direction because, you know, that's where you live. So that's what we're doing with a lot of resources. You just need to have a username and a login ID. We give you all of that. Programming to explain to you what happens in different fields. Now, a lot of your parents are already in certain fields, and so maybe you've learned things from them. But if you're not really planning on following in their footsteps, you need to learn about other professions as well. So we do probably 75 to 80 programs a year, just about, hey, what's it like to be an accountant? What do I need to do if I want to go to law school? I'm a liberal arts major. What kind of jobs can I get if I'm a liberal arts major? So we have all kinds of programs, at least 2 a week for students to go to. Geneseo has a special thing called Gold, which is a leadership program. And you get a certificate if you do this program. And a lot of Geneseo students end up getting this certificate, which basically means they have attended a certain number of leadership training programs that really distinguishes them from their classmates who have not done that. And so that shows up on their transcript. So that's a really nice thing to be able to share with a prospective employer. Post-grad guidance. Any of you that think you ultimately might end up going to graduate school, or you might go to med school, you might go to law school, any kind of post-grad interests, you come and talk to us and we'll say, based on what you think you want to do, here are the schools that you should be looking at. There's a lot of scholarships available for grad school. There's assistantships that students can get. I'm amazed how many current students, undergrads, don't have any idea that graduate assistantships are out there and available and just waiting to be taken. And they can completely pay your tuition and pay you. It's how I got my master's degree. It's how I got my law degree. I earned money doing both of those degrees. So now you all know probably more than a lot of undergrads at Geneseo do about graduate assistantships. They are out there. All you have to do is go to either career services or go to individual departments and say, I'm going to grad school and I would like to apply for an assistantship, either a graduate assistantship or a teaching assistantship. And you can get your tuition paid for, and you can also receive scholarships. So we have that information. We can tell students which assistantships are available at which institutions and how you apply for those. There's also fellowships. Students wouldn't know about those unless they come and talk to us, and we'll tell them about those. So those are really, really helpful things in terms of financially being able to afford post-baccalaureate education, and career services is who knows about those. I'm going to let you look through the rest of these. Certainly, job listings is a major thing that comes out of the career services office, and again, those are all online. You do not need to come into the office to check them out. You just need to have a login and a username. But we are the office that posts all kinds of jobs, whether they're temporary, permanent, internships. It's all done through career services. Okay? So if you're looking for a job, either when you're just on campus, you just need some spending money, or if you're looking for something over summer break, career services is the place you should go to find that information out. Salary. If you're interested in finding out how much can you make in a certain field, again, we're the place that you should go to check that out too. Okay, so anything really having to do with what you're going to be doing after you leave undergrad, we can handle and we can help you. So keep that in mind. And the other thing that I wanted to just quickly point out to you was, if you pick this lime green piece of paper, audience. There's one particular thing that's listed 3 years out of 4 years. Anybody notice what it is? It's listed 3 times out of 4 years. So it's pretty important. Any ideas?
Participate in on-campus interview programs?
Excuse me?
Participate in on-campus interview programs?
That's definitely important. I didn't even notice that was listed 3 times, but interning, and this was already mentioned earlier, internships. And as Dean Nadler said, that's actually getting more competitive. It isn't as easy to get one as it used to be, but they absolutely are still out there. In fact, there are internships that you can do right on campus. There are departments, academic departments, that offer internships. So you can look for internships on campus, you can look for them in your hometown, you can look for them in the town in which you're going to school, but wherever you look for them, they are beginning to be really, really important. How do you get an internship? Again, come to the Career Services Office. This is one of the things that's going to be posted online. You can check out what internships we have posted on our online posting system at any time of the day or night. Lots of students find internships that way. The other way that you get internships is through a word that starts with N. Does anybody know what it is? How about networking? Networking is how a lot of students find jobs now and how a lot of students find internships. So that's another way for you to get yourself some very good experience while you're in school. Use your parents' friends, use your professors, use your own friends, anybody that you can think of. You need to talk to them about, hey, I'm really interested in an internship. Can you point me in the right direction? Can you please tell your friends that I'm interested in something? Do whatever you need to do. But first of all, come to Career Services, because we may already have something for you. One of the other things that is important that students have kind of a hard time with, but I just wanted to mention, get to know your professors. And just like I said, come to Career Services as soon as you get to school. The other thing that you need to start doing right away is building prospective references. And the people that you need to do that with are your professors. Those are the people that are going to be putting in a good word for you when you apply for internships, when you apply for jobs. That's who's required as a reference, along with employers and along with internship supervisors. But almost any employer is going to want to see at least 2 references from faculty. So the sooner you develop those relationships, the better you're going to be. So if you have particular rapport with like just one professor, you don't have to get along fantastically with all of them. If you can try to develop a relationship with even one of them, so that they know you a little bit better than just the person who sits in the back. You know, stop and talk to them after class. Go up to their office. Develop the relationship outside of the class as much as you can, so that they can get to know you as a person and, you know, get to have an idea of what your capabilities are. And then when you need a reference for an internship, a scholarship, a fellowship, a job, graduate school, you'll have somebody that you can go to. And that's kind of hard to do when you're only 18, but you should really, really try to do that, because that's going to help you out a lot. I know that I'm pretty much out of time. Maybe just take like one question, if anybody has any about what I said. Yeah.
I was wondering if you were talking about salary and earnings potential. I was curious, do you guys also kind of help kids understand the relative cost of living, so they have some sense of proportionality? Because, you know, in that age, you get a job offer of any kind, it seems like it's a whole lot of money, and someone's like,
Yeah.